Learn English with simple stories. After listening, I will explain new words and give you questions to check your understanding. So, let's begin. Listen carefully. The Bardess and the Golden Pen. Once upon a time, there was a young girl named Sophia. Sophia was a wandering bard with a heart full of dreams. Her greatest wish was to become one of the greatest bards in history. She sang and wrote poems, hoping to touch hearts with her words. But few listened to her songs. Every day, she stood in the busy square reciting her poems. But people hurried on with their busy lives, uninterested in her words. Day by day, her heart grew heavy with disappointment. Maybe I'm not meant to be a bard, she thought. One afternoon, after another day of silence, she decided to leave. As she packed her things, an old man appeared before her. He smiled gently and said, "I heard your poems from afar. I was walking through the village and had to stop to listen," he added. "Thank you," Sophia said. "I hope you enjoyed my performance." "I did," he smiled, looking up at the sky. "The sky is beautiful today. Can you write a poem about it?" Sophia was surprised. She had never received such a request. But her poet's heart felt a spark of inspiration. She took a deep breath and began. "The sky today is like a silk of blue. Clouds drifting gently, soft and true. The sun sets slowly behind the hills. The wind carries a fragrance that heals." The old man clapped and smiled. "You have talents, child, not many possess." Sophia blushed, feeling warmth inside her. She had never heard such praise. "Sophia, right?" he asked. "Yes, Sophia Amora," she replied with a smile. "Would you mind chatting a bit with this old man?" Sophia nodded and they sat on a nearby bench. The old man looked at Sophia with a thoughtful expression. He smiled gently and said, "Today is a special day, my child. It brings back memories of stories from my past." He paused for a moment, his eyes distant, then continued. "Would you like to hear one of those? I wonder, as a bard, how would you end these stories?" Before Sophia could answer, he began telling his story. "Once, there was a young boy just like you. He also dreamed of becoming a famous bard. He wrote many poems, 100, then 1,000. Until one day, one specific poem of his became popular. But I wouldn't call it a good poem. It is just a silly poem about his argument with his brothers." "Well, I believe every poem has its beauty. What I mean is that the poem did not represent his soul. However, everyone loved it and they begged him to write more funny poems. He listened to them, writing more funny poems to please the crowd. But over time, he started feeling like he had lost himself. He remembered the poems he once loved. The poems about nature, trees, and clouds. The poems about love, life, and beauty. But he had abandoned them for the glittering fame of success. The old man looked at Sophia with a question in his eyes. If you were that boy, what would you do? Sophia thought carefully for a moment. She took a deep breath and replied with honesty. If I were that boy, I would stop. I would refuse those requests, even if people were mad at me. Even if they brought me fame. Staying true to myself is more important than pleasing the crowd. The old man smiled softly, nodding in approval. Wise words, Sophia, he said. The old man continued his story. The young boy grew up and kept on writing. However, he soon realized that his poems did not give him enough money. He did not have enough food or warm clothes. One day, he was approached by a wealthy family. They asked him to come live with them and only write poetry for their family. They would take care of everything from housing to money. But in return, he would only write poems that the family requested. What should he do in this situation? Sophia thought for a moment, then replied. It's a very difficult decision. Everyone needs a comfortable life. But I believe an artist cannot give up freedom. Creativity cannot be forced. Creativity should be free. Creative freedom is the most precious thing, even if it doesn't bring an easy life right away. The old man smiled and continued his story. The boy grew up, became famous, and achieved success. But after many years of writing, he ran out of inspiration. He began to write less, create less. He felt lonely, tired. He felt like writing was a burden. Should he give up on the path of creation? Sophia was silent for a moment, then replied with certainty. I've had moments like that, feeling like I failed, feeling like I was not meant for the arts. I mean, just today, I was feeling so discouraged. I think I would need to rest for a while. But one thing is certain. No matter how hard it gets, I won't give up. I am a bard and I will always be an artist. I will continue creating because that is what keeps me alive. Everyone needs a break sometimes, but the passion will never fade. The old man nodded in approval. You are truly special. You may be the one I have been looking for. The one, Sophia tilted her head in confusion. I am a bard of great renown in the capital. I have been searching for young talent to give them this. The man pulled out a pen from his pocket. The pen was shining in the sunlight. The golden pen has the power to write wonderful songs. Songs that will make the name of the one who holds it unforgettable. He turned to Sophia and said, "I offer you this pen. I believe you have great potential. With it, I can help you become an even greater bard." Sophia was shocked and deeply moved by his compliments. Someone finally recognized her talents. But after a moment of thought, she decided to decline. Thank you so much. But I don't think I can take it." The old man urged her to accept, saying, "Didn't you just admit? No one supports your songs. If you want to succeed, you need a little help." Sophia replied softly, "You have lightened up my day. For that, I am deeply grateful. But I want to write with my own strength. I want to create poems that I can be proud of, even if they are not perfect." The old man nodded, his face expressing regret. He turned to leave, but as he did, Sophia noticed a smile on his face. It was as though he had seen something very special in her decision. In the days that followed, something miraculous began to happen. Audiences from all directions started gathering in the square to see Sophia. People were amazed by her stories and verses. Sophia overheard the crowd murmuring in admiration. Just like he said, she truly is creative. Gradually, Sophia heard more stories of the old man and the golden pen. Some other bards had received the golden pen from him. They took the pen and, according to their angry stories, that man was a fraud, that was just a regular pen. However, Sophia knew the truth. That was the last test from him. The old man did not want to give her talent. No one could give her talent. Art and creativity are not things that can be given or bought. They come from within each artist. What the old man did was give her a small push. He introduced her to an audience that could have taken years for her to find on her own. He couldn't be sure if they would stay. But he knew that with Sophia's unwavering persistence, she would soon surpass him and become a wonderful artist. Because Sophia has what is most important to an artist, her uniqueness and authenticity. In the end, it is not fame or approval that defines an artist, but staying true to one's own soul. Let me explain some new words from these stories. Bardess. Bardess. Wander. Wander. Heart. Heart. Dream. Dream. Talent. Talent. Disappointment. Disappointment. Performance. Performance. Inspiration. Inspiration. Fragrance. Fragrance. Uninterested. Uninterested. Pleasure. Pleasure. Approve. Approve. Journey. Journey. Test. Test. Burden. Burden. Freedom. Freedom. Creativity. Creativity. Success. Success. Fame. Fame. Regret. Regret. Passion. Passion. Potential. Potential. Unforgettable. Unforgettable. Authenticity. Authenticity. Soul. Soul. Lastly, let's answer the following questions. Question 1. What was Sophia's greatest wish? Answer. To become one of the greatest bards in history. Question 2. Why did Sophia feel discouraged at the beginning? Answer. Because no one listened to her poems. Question 4. What did Sophia answer when the old man asked how she would end the story of the young boy? With the funny poem? Answer. She replied that she would refuse to please others and stay true to herself. Question 5. What did Sophia say when asked if the man should give up on his path of creation? Answer. Sophia replied that she had experienced similar feelings but would never give up. Question 6. What did Sophia decide to do when the old man offered her the golden pen? Answer. She decided to decline the offer. Question 7. What is the most important thing for an artist according to the story? Answer. Staying true to one's own soul and uniqueness. Today's story is very meaningful, right? Do you like listening to short stories? Please share your thoughts in the comments below. Now, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Leave a comment on what you would like to learn next. See you next time. Goodbye.